which combines both of this. Like the blockchain layer is of hardware and the front end is of ledger, and then it also adds good Ethereum toolkit hooks so that it helps you build stuff on Ethereum. So like it adds all these things, and it's also more AI ready now, so that you can just prompt, like you can just use npx creating to scaffolding repo, and we have all the skills and everything so that your AI agent can nail the whole product with you. So these are the things, like it has the burner wallet so that you can do quick local testing as well, and everything is set up. Like you can just now just talk with AI agent and build the apps. I'll also share one of the example now, but let's get more focused on x402 and all the stuff, like what's all happening. So like just to give a brief about x402, like I think like earlier, like how the internet evolved, like it didn't actually take into consideration like there would be native payment layer as well. Like earlier how the internet was built was more focused on information, like sharing information with the people. But as the e-commerce came and all the things came, like people started buying things from internet. Like there was this Amazon and all that. But yeah, like it was not actually built for the native payment layer. And if you look at it, like if you look like at the current problems, it faces it's like money. If you want to transfer money, like it often takes like several days to settle. Like if you try to integrate PayPal, like I was just talking with these developers who wanted a $1 check-in for the game, and they tried to integrate PayPal, and it was just taking like 0.56 dollar as a fees to integrate PayPal in their system. So like they were just getting 44 cents. So like this PayPal or this type or this payment layer are also charging you a lot. So it's not probably built for micro payments. Like if you want to expose a certain things for a cheaper price, like a $1 or $2 product, like you are not that profitable. And there are so many middlemen in between. You need to have presets like accounts or bank account to do the stuff. And like I hope like if you are on Twitter, like you have already seen OpenCloud and people building all these agents. So it's also like the current system is not probably built for this agent economy. People are just buying, like the agents are building their own rating. Like probably agent would need their own AWS in future. So like I think like these AWS services or the service providers need to also expose some kind of API so that these agents can buy stuff from these APIs. So this is what x402 basically solves. Like you don't need credit card or subscriptions. Like agents can't fill the form of KYC, and then like there is this high fees as well. And since agents are becoming like a major players on internet, like they can't do all this stuff. So basically x402 solves this thing. Basically what does x402 is basically, earlier there was this already x402 HTTP request which you could make, but this was not used by the developers. Like it was, I think it was launched in 1990 as well, but it was not being utilized. But it was basically a status code where a website could just send the client like, hey, if it says 402 request to the client, it just makes sense. It just tells that the payment was required. That's it. Like that was just the protocol which was presented in 1990. But now, like like the Coinbase developers and all what they did is like basically create, like make a next version of this protocol where this cryptocurrency and utilize all these things so that you could make the micro payments. So they built the infrastructure, they laid out the protocol nicely, and now you guys can basically use this protocol to make the payments. Like we would also see an example in future, but yeah. Like the main things about x402 is that it's HTTP native, like it's not a new protocol, it was already there. So they utilize the same status code. So like normal Web2 companies are also good with it. And yeah, like it basically facilitates micro payments as well. Like you could see in the future example, like we are just allowing like a small bits of content to the agents or to the users. Like they could just pay $0.01 per request and get some content out of it. And it's been like implemented already on mainnet base and everyone. So yeah, like I mean, so if you see like what are the people who will be using X402, it would be like the sellers, like probably and AWS will have a API service so that that agent can buy some AWS service as well. So it could be like the API providers, content creators can also provide some content. I basically created an example of this example, like a content creator. I'll show this next to you, but as service operators as well. And the buyers could be like the AI agents or a developers or even a normal people. Like if you want to read a Medium article, like you could just pay for the Medium, like just for that article, I just read it. So like you don't need this subscription or yeah. And if you look at this, how currently the agents are working, they probably don't need a subscription. Like they just need a one-time call to the API service, they get the response, they use that response to build the thing. So I think it's better for it as well. And if you look at, so basically I just condensed bit of flow of X402 so that it's easier for us to digest. But this is generally the flow. So by that there is this client application which want to request a certain paywall. Let's take an example of Medium, like a Medium article, right? So this is the protected API, like basically this will be created by a Medium server. A client, a user can come in and request for it, hey, give me this Medium article. And then the Medium article will send a 402 request to the client saying, hey, like, so basically this 402 follows this payment required header. It will send it to the client, hey, I need you to pay this. The client reads the payment, signs the thing with the crypto wallet, and then basically hands it off to the API. And then the API, what it does is like, there is this also a middle layer which basically tells the API, like the protected API, like okay, this guy is authorizing me to spend $0.01, so I need to put this on chain so that I can get the money from it. So this is the thing which is solved by facilitators as well. So there is this Coinbase facilitator, Cloudflare facilitator. So you can use this already established facilitators, or you can also build your own infra which verifies that okay, these guys are actually authorized me to get $0.01 from his wallet and then sending the resources. So this is basically the flow. Like it tells like hey, I am going to pay you with $0.01 US. It tells the facilitator to hey, just verify the signature and just settle it on chain. The facilitator gives it back saying, okay, like your payment is done, you have received the money, now you can show the resource to the client. And just that the protected API shows it to the client. So yeah, like what server sends to the client is basically a base 64 encoded JSON. We will see this nicely. But yeah, like let's go through the repo. So like if you, I'll share the link of this repo so that you guys can try it hands-on as well. But if you run this command like npx created -e, this will basically give you a template with all the things set up which are required to do X402. Basically what I did is I used this repo and create a minimal app for this workshop. So let me show you what I created. So it's basically an Next.js app built on top of scaffolding, but it has all the things. So basically what I created now is, so when I was coming to Kuala Lumpur, I also wanted to see, hey, what is the itinerary? Like I was going to YouTube and trying to search for the itineraries, like what are the places I could visit in Kuala Lumpur. And I see these YouTubers were selling this guide, like they had this guide link which you could click and pay $50 or $5 to them, and then they were giving you a PDF access. So I thought maybe like I think this is a good idea to build for the user. So my what I created is basically this website. You could just pay $0.01 and just get access to the guide of Kuala Lumpur. So like this is the flow, like let me just go back again. So like you come here, you click this, and then it asks you, basically I'm using Coinbase facilitator here, and it's telling me like, okay, like I've connected to this MetaMask wallet. So I've already connected my wallet to the app here, and when I ask it to unlock, it's saying me, okay, like this is my connected wallet. It's not showing, so this is a base Sepolia, so it's showing my current balance, the amount which I'll be paying to the API, and once I hit pay now, it will ask me to sign the transaction. And then like these guides open up for me. Like now like I can just view the whole guide. It just basically shares some of the facts about the Kuala Lumpur, and then there is also a local gem thing, like where it shares some of the hidden gems in Kuala Lumpur. So like you could see like how this mini YouTuber can build this small app where you could just accept the payment directly from the user instead of integrating a Stripe, or instead of him having a bank account, instead of having it going through the whole flow. You could just create this simple thing where you could just get these guide from people and just ask people to pay like $0.01 or $1 per guide. So, and it's pretty easy to build as well. Like now, when we jump into the code, you could see like how easy it is to build. So yeah, basically this is the page which was unlocked. And like if I try to go to this page, right, I just open the incognito tab, and if I try to open up this page in this, it gives me this warning. Hey, like you need to pay to access that page. So this is everything handled by the libraries which we are using. So let's try to dive a bit into the code. So since this is a Next.js app, so the x402 org has basically provided a Next.js library as well. So what you can do is basically bind that, like you have a simple GET request which you want to block with the payload. So like here I have a basic, if I go to app, API. So this is basically a GET request which is basically giving the response like, hey, the title is Kuala Lumpur Insider Facts generated, and it's basically generating some facts from the file. So this is just a basically GET request which I want to add a paywall against. So it's very easy, like you can just check out the middleware. So like in Next.js you can set up this middleware and you just add this to your code. Like we'll go through the code, but you could just add this file to your code, and then all your APIs in the Next.js are gated by this x402 protocol. And it's pretty simple to add. Like if we go through the code, you could see like we need to use the facilitator URL. This could be, so for the example, I'm using Coinbase like x402 facilitator resource wallet. So basically this will be the wallet where the user pays fund to, and the network, like on which network the fund should be transferred. And then like you just set the client, like the facilitator client, you just initialize the server with these two commands. You create the paywall UI. So basically here you can just add what would be the name of the app and app logo, if it's tested or not. And then like in the Next.js middleware, you just export this middleware. So like now, once you export this middleware, all your APIs would be nicely gated by this x402 protocol. And here I am saying, hey, I need to get API payment builder route which accepts this. To access that route, you need to pay $0.01. The network would be base, and I want the user to pay to this wallet address. And then I mentioned some description and my type, and then there is this another API which I am trying to get as well. And that's it. I mean, this is the setup which you require to get your API gated by x402 payment. That's it. And I mean, you could also explore the code, like there is more, like I will share the link of this repo too, so how everything is set up. But yeah, I mean, so we currently saw the example of user like going to a website and trying to access the page, but mind that like now in this agentic economy, like probably there might be an agent which my own OpenClaw agent who wants to, I just send my OpenClaw agent, hey, like I'm planning my trip to Kuala Lumpur, can you give me some good facts and in-depth itinerary about it? So my agent basically what it will do is, it will try to find some agents on the internet which are basically providing these services, which are providing this in-depth guide. So this app could be that agent who is providing this service, and my agent will now talk with this agent. So we could see like, if I run this command, if I run this command, so what this basically is mimicking is basically an local agent like my OpenClaw instance trying to hit my x402 API, trying to pay it $0.1 and get the content from it. So I give it an access to a wallet by entering a private key, and it's saying like, hey, like I'm just fetching the details from this website. You need to pay $0.1. I just paid. Now it's just talking with the API which I created, and it just got the some of the resources from the other agent. So probably in future like this would how things work. Like on Telegram you just message your agent saying like, hey, I'm planning my trip to Kuala Lumpur. Just try to find an agent which gives this in-depth tutorials about it. The agent talks with this x402 API. It gives the response. It uses this response to give me a detailed in-depth guide about Kuala Lumpur. And my agents also needs to have the wallet to pay to that agent. And here you can see that we didn't require any KYC or we didn't require any clicks or anything. It's just agent communicating with each other. And the next step of it is like basically this is where 8004, like the newly launched ERC comes in. It's already live on mainnet, so you guys also start using it. So what ERC 8004 solves is basically it solves the trust. Mind that like in this agentic economy, people would be, instead of going to the web US, people would be just chatting with ChatGPT or Claude Code, saying like, hey, I want to buy Nike shoes. It will be just the chat interface or the LLMs with which the people would be talking to. And this LLM needs to communicate with this API, pay them, and just book your order. So what ERC 8004 solves is basically allows this trust for the agents. It basically gives you these three registries. One is identity registry, reputation registry, and validation registry. What this basically allows is mind that I can register my AI agent, which gives you the price of Ethereum. And you can use this AI agent, you can ask the AI agent to basically always get the price of Ethereum. And what I can do is basically I can prove that, okay, like I'll be giving you the consistent pricing. I'll make sure that I don't give you a manufactured pricing of Ethereum. So that's what my agent is saying. But I also need to prove it, right? Like other agents who will be using my agent also need to trust my agent that, okay, like this agent will probably in future also provide this consistent result. So this is what 8004 solves, is basically when you register your agent, so basically when you register your agent, is basically minting an NFT for an agent. So for my price Oracle agent, I can just register it on the identity registry. I get a ERC 721 of my agent name, what my agent services, what my agent provides. And then as people start using my agent, as people start making requests to my agent, I'll build a reputation score on chain. So when another agent wants to discover my agent, he would look at my score. Okay, this agent has been providing consistent price for the past few years. Maybe I should use this agent for my work. So that's what this reputation thing is for. So putting everything into the flow, like mind that this is your normal agent who wants to get the price of Ethereum. So he will go to this agent's marketplace. He would see like, okay, these are the agents who are providing me the price of the Ethereum. It will check, okay, like if this agent has the reputation score above 80. If it has the reputation score above 80, maybe I'll pay this agent $0.01, get the actual price, and just execute my next task. So that's how it is. So we just integrate this piece of pseudocode into our x402 stack, and then we are using 8004. So if you look at currently, like this is the website, which is basically listing all the agents created by the people. And let's see, if you go to most stars or highly scored, so Captain Lucky is the agent what it is from 5 years. I think it's probably related to some DeFi stuff, DeFi AI stuff. Maybe it gives you prices on periods and all that. I think Chainlink also launched their Chainlink price oracle so that you can just talk with their agents and also get their response from the show. So they have all these things. So basically, like this interface won't be used by the normal users. Like this would be used by the agents which you will be developing. Like an AI which would be using this agent to get some task done, pay them in crypto, get the resources from it, and move on to the next task. So that's what 8004 solves. And yeah, I mean, if you want to, I'll share the link of this repo so that you can also go through the code. Like it's basically some commands which you set up, and you can have all the x402 and 8004 set up and just go through it. Like I have also mentioned some of the resources here. Yep. And yeah, like today's like agent, like I think everyone has been using Opus or Cloud Code for us, and they're basically having this agent economy. It's pretty fascinating. Like we just telling it in natural language that I need to book a Nike shoe, and based on all your context and based on all your previous history, it just knows what is your type of Nike shoes, whether you like black or white shoes. It just knows, and it just talks with the Cloud Code. It gets your chat history. It knows, okay, like probably this guy loves black Nike shoes. It just lists you these black Nike shoes on the chat where you just tell, okay, buy me this. It just talks to the AI agent of Amazon. It just makes payment to it via a crypto wallet, and boom, like you have your probably shoes in the next few days by just giving it a query, like I need to buy Nike shoes. So it's pretty cool how everything is evolving. And yeah, like, because there is this burst of people creating this random agent on internet, making them float. I think 8004 solves this is basically giving reputation to each agent so that people don't get into this fraud or people don't interact with this fraud agent. Basically, I think that's good part of 8004 as well. So yeah, I mean, if you guys any have doubt about this, let me. You can just text your Telegram as well, but anyone has any doubt on explorations. Yeah.
Just a question, maybe you mentioned it in the score system. How does it work?
Which one?
The score system, like is it like under agent score?
Agent scoring system.
Yeah.
I didn't get it.
The agent scoring system. Like if you said that 80 points, then you need or lower, you need to scroll.
Which one?
8004 scan. The repetition.
Oh yeah, the scan. Yeah. Like it's 8004 basically. 8004 scan.i. Agent scoring system. Oh, what is the algorithm by which they are?
They have a score.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
Where does it come from? Like, is it how good the information they provide? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think there are multiple algorithms which they are following, but one of them is like basically how many people are reading the agent and how many times the agent is requesting the good response. So that is one of the score, like how much active the agent is like in the economy and how much up is it. So like that is one of the score calculator by which the agent increases score is always being available to every agent. And then there are also, I think, so mind that like you have built this price oracle agent. So the main thing to evaluate will be like how consistent is giving the pricing, right? So there are also these AI agent judges who are judging like by comparing different agent prices and then giving the reputation score as well.
Okay.
So yeah.
So, but this means like only agents who paid actually for the other agent can score it? Or?
Yeah. And these guys basically also allows normal user to add a comment, but I think it's not on chain. It's just like in Google restaurant reviews, like how you review the restaurant, that's it. But I think the main score which goes on chain is basically how the agent is replying to other agents, how many times it's available and all that. So that's all stored on chain. And this website basically is a wrapper around the contract and everything, and it also allows people to write their own human feedback on the agent. So yeah, I think this is a good website. Probably it will do. Yep.
Thanks.
So the ARC8004 is actually to lay out a standard on how to score this, how to register this AI agents.
Yeah.
So this is the implementation of it, like 804 scan is official.
Yeah, it's the official. Yeah.
But another thing is, could it like give me to get it high score, right? Like I can spend, internally I can transfer a lot, like make it high score.
Yeah, probably. I think there might be some a layer around it, but I could totally see, like agents spamming these their own agents so that they increase their score. So
This new.
Yeah. Maybe I think since it's open source and since it's on chain, probably people can verify that like only this agent is talking with this, so probably that's why its reputation score is increased. So since everything is stored on chain, so you could just verify the stuff, like probably this guy is spamming his own request. And you could just verify on chain. I think that is also the better part of putting everything on chain so that like why the reputation score is increasing slowly. So yeah, probably that would be a layer to block this thing and get to know. Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
My question is more around the interface of the 8004 which you showed.
Yeah.
The interface for AI agents, right?
Yeah.
One is, do AI agents even need a front-end interface?
Yeah.
And the second one is, so these agents, their behavior and the patterns, they must be different from the way people talk, right?
Yeah.
Are there any such patterns which you know of, or things which differ in their behavior, and how does that translate to the interfaces with people?
Yeah. So the interface which I showed you, like the 8004 scan.r, this is for us. Like this is for a human to go through this thing and see like what are the agents being registered. But if you look at the agent won't be using this interface. It will be just talking with the identity registry and reputation registry on chain. Like it won't go to this interface and see what are the agents. It just goes on chain, fetch the data from on chain, and just then interact with it. So like this interface basically for us humans to see the activity going in the Ethereum ecosystem. And what was the next question?
The second was, there might be some interfaces or some platforms which are used by both agents and humans.
Yeah.
Right? So on those platforms, like have you seen, or throughout your work, have you seen any patterns or difference in behavior between agents and humans?
I see. So I think, as such I haven't interacted, maybe, I think Cloudflare recently launched a token, like agents token, I think. And where it was like, so might that like you can go on the interface of the Cloudflare and you can just get your instance on the Cloudflare, but they launched their own token. I think let's Yeah, so they do a protocol in the normal web development flow as well. So, yeah. More questions? Cool. So maybe we can talk about the hackathon as well. Cool. Yeah, so the plan is to, I think the hackathon, you guys can start forming the team, start thinking about the idea. But the theme of the hackathon will be building something around x402 and 8004 since it's already live, so you guys can think like I also put down some of the ideas what we can build using both of them. But like feel free to go crazy and feel free to come up with the new ideas. But yeah, like, we already saw like because of this open cloud, like if you go to mod book, like already there are 1.2 million agents registered on the mod book, and like agents are going crazy. So I think there is something there. Like I think January has been the month where this thing has just bloated away, like just fired away, like because of open cloud, like people are easily creating these agents. So I think we can create a lot. And also like x402 has also got this recent attraction because of these agents going up. So it's like in January it made like 20 million plus of transactions. There are already 30,000 plus agent identities registered on mainnet. So I think we already have some good meat present as well. And if you look at the base and other L2s as well, there is also a good amount of agents available. But yeah, like use x402 for the payment, have 8004 for registering your agent so that other agents can access your agent as well. And yeah, like some of the ideas was like, which we already saw, like I built a small idea. I think with AI now, with Claude Code and also you could just build a big idea in 3 days. I just did this, the thing which at the website which I showed, like it was like, I just worked on it for half an hour or 1 hour and it created me the whole thing. So you could use scaffolding as well, like it has all the context of x402, all the context of crypto as well, so you could use this repo. And we also ship these files, like the .cloud files, some DeFi protocol templates or IT security practices. So when you are using the AI to build your hackathon project, it also is easy for you. And you could go for any of the track or feel free to combine these tracks and create your own idea. But yeah, you could have some SDKs if you are planning to build some developer tools which is more catered towards x402 and 8004, feel free to be implemented. I think currently there are no good SDKs for developers, so maybe you could go around that path, building for developers, or you could also build an agent app store or directory that makes these services easy to find. So 8004 basically lists the agents which are currently available, but you could also create a marketplace where you could list the whole apps or anything. So maybe something around that. You could just do price comparison and all that. Or I think currently the 8004 is a good boost around 8004 scan is a good boost around pushing forward the 8004 protocol. But I think there are also still developer UI that could be developed around 8004, like having an 8004 scanner, like okay, this guy is paying $0.01 daily, so maybe having some that UI as well. So I think that would be nice as well. Or even like prediction market style scoring, like how people are using the reputation and maybe having a prediction market on the agents being used. So that could be a good idea as well. So a good hard requirement would be like using x402, having something demoable. I think in this AI world, using Claude Code Cursor, I think people should have some kind of demoable at 3 days. But yeah, some working code. And this is the hackathon form, like the submission form. I'll share this link in the group. So the timeline would be like you start brainstorming the idea, forming the team today and on Friday, tomorrow, and you can just start building. And you just need to make sure that you submit this form with your project idea, your project link, the GitHub link and everything. It has all the fields before 8th of February midnight. And while judging, we will be basically using this form to check your GitHub identity and your code records. Yeah. And the final demo would be like of 3 to 5 minutes, and you can probably split your time in like 30 seconds, the problem plus idea. 2 minutes would be a live demo. I think that would be more useful for the judges to see if this product is really useful in the real world. And 1 minute talking about architecture and what would be your final goal after the hackathon. And I also mentioned the judging criteria. The main focus would be on like I think how it can be used and how well is the idea using the x402 and 8004, like how it's useful for this agentic world and how it's utilizing the agentic economy. Yeah, like I also mentioned some of the resources. And also we had like around 2 months ago we had a x402 hackathon. So I have also mentioned the links from it, so you could also go more in depth about what Ethereum Foundation was planning to have or what Ideal Cloud has for the people. So you could also go through these resources and use some of these resources as well. And you could also check the past winner of x402 hackathons and get some ideas from them as well. So yeah, like you could see the past winner, what they did and what we like. So you could also use this as a reference point for building your idea. And maybe I'll just share the QR code for what is there. So I think if you scan this QR code probably you should get the reading. I'll also share the links of the repo in the group, but hopefully it works. Yeah. Because you can use that as a reference guide, that readme as a reference guide for your timeline and what to build, etc. And also feel free to ask questions on the group. I think we already have a Telegram group. So feel free to drop some questions there regarding hackathon or regarding the ideas. I think some of the mentors will be already here, so feel free to ask them the questions. Thank you. I think